My name is Adam Morseman, and I'm a degree apprentice at BT in the Applied Research Department. I've been at BT now for 2 years, and before that I was a student at Northgate sixth form just like you, where I studied maths, psychology, economics and physics. I found out about the degree apprenticeships through a friend, and I'd never heard of them before. So when I looked into them more and went to some information evenings, I was amazed to find out that you could study for a degree at a university whilst also being employed by a company, working 4 days a week and studying for one. This really excited me because your degree is funded by the company you work for and you also get paid a yearly salary, so it's a win-win. I applied, went through the process, and even though I had applied for universities as well, as soon as I got the job offer from BT, I knew that that's what I wanted to do, so I took it. And now here I am today, 2 years later, talking to you guys. So let me tell you about some of the things I get to do in applied research at BT. Already, I've been able to work on some cybersecurity work, looking at new ways we can find attacks on our network using anomaly detection. I've also had the chance to write a research paper summarising some work I've done, and I've also had the opportunity to present that work abroad in Valencia at an international conference, which was amazing. I'm also now looking at ways we can use machine learning and artificial intelligence to improve the quality of experience that our network provides. And we also have lots of other teams that I haven't been in yet, but that work with augmented reality and virtual reality, some in a cybersecurity context, and some looking at how we can stream those sorts of services. For example, in our BT Sport offering, where if you've ever used the app, you'll see that you can now actually get a pitch side 360-degree view. And that's thanks to one of the teams we have in research. We also get to do extra stuff, like the talk I'm doing now, albeit virtual, but we often get opportunities to go out to schools and also get involved with other side projects that are outside of our normal daily roles. So it's a great opportunity and lots of variety to work with different technologies and with different teams in the department. But that's BT. What about soft skills for the workplace? What allows you to be successful in that sort of environment? These are the sort of things I've been asked to go over in this talk as well today. So I'm going to go with 3 things that I think are the most important soft skills for the workplace. The first one is communication. I think communication is absolutely vital in both written form and verbal, as you'll always be needing to share your ideas and thoughts with colleagues, no matter what job you have. Some of the ways that I developed these skills when I was at sixth form was by being a student ambassador, as this was a great opportunity to talk with prospective students and try and convey to them why I thought Northgate was a great sixth form, and really developed my ability to be concise and clear with what I wanted to say in a way that was meaningful for my audience. Since I've joined BT, I've had plenty more opportunities to further develop my communication skills, including, again, talks like this, as well as presentations to colleagues at work explaining the work I've done, and also in a written format being able to write up my work in the form of research papers and lab reports, which colleagues often provide me support with and feedback. And when you submit research papers to external journals or conferences to be published, you get feedback from the reviewers of that as well. We also have certain internal courses and videos that you can watch that will give you some tips and pointers for presentations and email etiquette. The second key soft skill that I think is vital in the workplace is the process of learning and being a good learner. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be naturally good at whatever you do. It just means that you need to know how you learn best and be willing to pick things up and not feel like you have to know everything, and if you don't already know something, then you'll never be able to get it. Being eager and willing to learn is a vital skill because things will always be changing and you need to be able to keep up with that. The way I was able to develop this at sixth form was by just doing my A-levels. You're doing subjects that maybe you did at GCSEs, but even if you did, it's going to that next level. And so actually you'll be learning new things, and just the process of doing that and revising and preparing, that will help you establish how you learn well. And so that's really great practice already. And then fortunately for me, I've been able to develop that even further at work, because being in research means I'm always working with new technologies on things that I've never seen or heard of before. And so I'm constantly having to keep up, and every new team I rotate into, I have to learn something new. And so that's a really great way for me to practice and figure out what works well and what doesn't. And finally, the third key soft skill that I would recommend for the workplace is confidence. This doesn't mean you have to be the most bubbly person in the room and the loudest. It just means that you need to be settled in your own ability to provide useful insight and information, and be confident that what you're saying is useful and that it has value, and that you should be listened to and heard. And sometimes you'll get it wrong, but that's okay. And I think confidence will only ever come from experience. And the more you practice things, the better you'll be. But obviously, sometimes you're not going to have experience in something. And I think the best way to have confidence in those sorts of situations is asking yourself the question, what's the worst that can happen? And when you ask that question, you'll often realise that the worst outcome isn't actually that bad. And that should help give you the confidence to give it a go and do your best. And actually, if it doesn't go as well as you hoped, you'll learn from it, and it will give you that experience to be even better next time. Also, if you wanted to apply for apprenticeship schemes or even universities, the ways you can make yourself appear as a great candidate and show that you've got these sorts of qualities is just by being yourself and explain the things you do. Always give examples of how you have these skills. So on any sort of application for a job, university, don't just say, I'm a great communicator, I'm a great presenter. Give some examples of when you use that skill and how it's gone well. So for example, if you've been a student ambassador, put that on your application, say, I'm a great communicator because I have been a student ambassador and had conversations with parents and students alike to persuade them and tell them why I think sixth form is such a great, Northgate sixth form is such a great place. And then also the desire to learn. I've already talked about having the skill of being able to teach yourself things and pick things up, but if you don't want to do that, that will come across in any sort of application. And if people don't think you're passionate about what you're applying for, they're probably not going to pick you because they're not going to think your heart is really in it. But if you show people that you really want something, then you'll most likely get it. I hope this inspires you to consider degree apprenticeships as a future career option, and also to work on developing some of those skills for your time here at Northgate sixth form. I wish you all the best for the future, and maybe one day I'll see you in person. Good luck.